Welcome to our single regeneration team support call for December. We're really excited about what we're sharing with you tonight. We've had fantastic feedback on our calls. Everyone really likes them. And as I've said each time, this is a more direct, personal introduction to the Sunrider foods. If you want to understand their manufacturing and the international company which backs up these foods, you can go to YouTube or the international website. But here we're just a bunch of happy consumers and distributors who are sharing our experiences and insights with you. And so with me tonight is, just one sec. That didn't work. Okay. With me tonight is Diana Walker from BC, Jim Pendry and myself from Edmonton, Trudy Stolting from the East Coast, Barb Rowe from Lloydminster, and Ann Humble from Regina. Welcome, everyone.
Hello, hello.
Thank you.
Okay, so tonight we said we would talk about Christmas, trying to take the stress out of Christmas and putting the fun back into Christmas. It's a very intense time, and you need help on a number of levels. So physically, mentally, on everything possible. And so what we say, our response, let's say, to the upcoming stress or the stress that's already started, is to keep nourished and hydrated, don't overeat, and don't oversweet. And I understand that last word is a makeup word, but everyone knows what it means. So to begin tonight, we're going to bring on the big guns of how to keep your body balanced and not eating too much and not eating too much sweets right away. So we're going to begin with Vitataste. And Diana, you're going to talk about that, but please tell us your story first, too.
Absolutely. Okay, so I found Sunrider through Trudy Stolting 18 years ago. We both worked at the hospital together in administration and human resources. And Trudy showed me the Sunrider products after she'd actually been away from work for quite a while because she had some health challenges. She came back to work and she was sharing Sunrider with everybody. And I found that as I used, at first I didn't want to use the products because I thought I knew everything, and so I didn't need to try anything. But I had mood swings, I had low energy, I had achy hips, I had a lot of things going on. And finally, after about a month, I said, okay, Trudy, I'll try that Nupuffs, which was was my first product. And the next day I felt a difference in energy and also less achiness in my hips just from one Nupuffs, which is, that's not everyone experiences that, but I did. And tonight we're going to be talking about the Vitataste. And in fact, most of the ingredients of Vitataste are also in Nupuffs. And so that was another thing that happened right away within the first week, was that I started to decrease my feelings of need for sugar. And because I would always look forward to going to the cafeteria and having a great big fatty muffin with a ton of sugar in it. And it started not to taste very good after about a week. And I wasn't even using Vitataste. So tonight we're going to talk about Vitataste, and you can stop sugar cravings easily with it. It's all natural, whole food concentrate, and it naturally inhibits the taste of sugar. The photograph I have here actually was just taken a few days ago because I did 2 demos at home here, and we use Smarties in Canada. I don't think those are available in the States. They're a little bit like M&Ms, and then we used a Mars bar. So they're very, chocolatey, sugary. And what happens is that we open the Vitataste and we empty the contents into a spoon, and then you take it onto your tongue. You hold it in your mouth for 45 seconds, Then you swallow the herbs, and you might want to rinse with water or Fortune Delight. You wait a minute or two. Then you try your chocolate or your favorite sweet or anything that you're struggling with, even salty things. But it works very dramatically with sugary things. And what I found is that I was spitting out the chocolate and didn't like it right away, and so it had changed my taste buds. It lasts about 4 hours, and the amazing thing is, though, that you love things like celery and broccoli, so we usually produce those to show people that we haven't ruined their taste buds, that in fact it's cleared their taste buds. So you cannot taste sugar, but and your cravings are all reduced. So this is quite an experience, and I think we need the next slide here because I think there's some more information that I wanted to share. Okay, so Vitataste nourishes the pancreas and the adrenal glands. So in other words, even just taking the Vitataste in the capsule, you're actually doing your body a lot of good. And it balances your blood sugar and nourishes the body. So we found that people have even overcome cravings for smoking, but in particular for overeating and unhealthy foods, sugar and salt. And so this is how this can help you take the stress out of Christmas because there's just so much around every corner at work and at home and in preparation. So for 2 or 3 weeks, you're being tempted in every direction. And so if you just buy some Vitataste, it actually really takes the stress out of the holidays because you can just focus on nutrition and healthy food, and you're not going to be tempted. So I just love sharing Vitataste with people.
Wow, that sounds fantastic.
Can I tell a little story about Diana and Vitataste right at the beginning?
Sure.
She had just got introduced to Sunrider. She was all excited about Vitataste, and it's Christmas at the holidays at the hospital, and the administrator had given out these boxes of turtles to every single department. And Diana went from one department to the other with her bottle of Vitataste, and she was giving everybody Vitataste, and they were all excited about just diving into these turtles, and she's giving them all the Vitataste, and they were all spitting out these candies and going like, oh, these are all. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Every department was like, oh, those turtles sat there for quite a while. They did not get eaten very fast.
Yeah, so they're so full of caramel and sugar and chocolate and some nuts in them. And yes, unfortunately or fortunately, people did not like them. A lot of them ended up in the garbage. But we had a lot of customers after that, didn't we, Trudy?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It maybe should be mentioned that what Diana has described is more of a demonstration. You don't have to. Normally, you would just eat the whole capsule, and it doesn't have quite as dramatic an effect, but it still has that same effect overall. And if you eat Nupuffs regularly, again, it has that same, maybe even a more generalized effect overall. But 45 seconds to give a demonstration of what's possible is quite amazing, and there's been tons of wonderful stories. I know Jim has probably done that 1,000 times at trade shows, and Barb too, I bet you.
Yeah, I remember the first trade show we did when we first started. I don't know if you were there, Jim, or not, but it was at the university in Saskatoon, and we were set up, and around the corner, down the other side, was the fudge people. And so everybody came by, and we did the Vitataste, and they were just so impressed. And then they would go around, and, of course, they were sampling their fudge. And they'd get there, and nobody was buying it. And the show people actually came to us and asked us if we would stop doing that test.
Hadn't heard the story before. Wow.
So it's powerful.
At the beginning, Randy, you had a picture of a child crying. And
right, yeah.
Most of us, of course, that have raised children, we know what happens to them when they get sugar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is they get really hyper, and then they crash, and then they get really grumpy, and they want more sugar. And sugar is a pretty powerful drug, and most people just don't realize how powerful it is. And So what we would do with Vitataste in our family is we would say to the kids, okay, you're going to this birthday party, or Christmas party, or their Christmas party at school, or whatever the case was. We knew there was going to be lots of sugar there, and our oldest especially was really sensitive to sugar. And say, okay, you got to have your Vitataste. So they would have 2 capsules or so before they would go, and then they wouldn't absorb the sugar from the food because Vitataste, it works in the body just like Diana was explaining, it works on the tongue. So then when we go to pick our kids up from whatever party this was, our kids were all level and happy and okay, and everybody else's kids, you had to peel them off the ceiling or off the roof. So, or Halloween, here, you got to have some Vitataste before you go out tonight because I know you're going to be sneaking some of that candy before you get home. So it's an amazing product to add into your family, and most people just don't realize how much sugar is in the food they eat. So if you did the demo and then you go to have a piece of white bread, white rice, anything that's sweet, it's not going to be sweet, and you realize, wow, so a glass of wine tastes like vinegar. If you add some ketchup, it's all sugar. There's just a little bit of tomato left, and on and on and on. It's a really interesting thing for most people.
Mm-hmm. I had one man try Vitataste because he just couldn't control his sweet cravings, and he came back to me about halfway through the bottle. He gave me a bottle back, and he goes, I just can't do this anymore. He said, because it spoiled the taste of my beer.
Yeah. It makes you physically not want bad things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you swallow the capsules, and they even soak tobacco and sugar water when they cure it. So there's a lot of sugar that comes when people smoke, so it takes that away too. So it affects pretty well every kind of food that's bad.
Yeah, and what's so beautiful is, like Randy said, these ingredients are mostly in the Nupuffs also. So even somebody that is eating Nupuffs every day, over time, you just really lose your cravings for sweet things. And remember, Trudy, you were cradling Brussels sprouts. You were just loving it so much. You're shopping, and that was what you went for. Like your body just needed those Brussels sprouts.
A whole pound of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll throw in is some people say, well, I don't have a problem with sweet. I have a problem with salt. And Vitataste or Nupuffs, both, they make salt more intense. So then you have just a little bit, and it's just like, wow, you can't have the whole bag of chips anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So one bottle of Vitataste could change your whole experience of the holidays. That's quite amazing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the second big hitter here is Suntrim. I forget who's going to talk about this.
Well, I was going to talk about it, and I think, I'm not sure if someone else was too, but probably all of us have a story. Suntrim Plus is quite a unique product, and it's like many products. When Chin releases it, he says, this is a breakthrough. And he doesn't just take, like you could look at the herbs in there, and maybe you could see some of them in other products, but it's the way he treats those plants. He removes parts of them. He soaks them in the teas of other plants. He does so many things by the time it's actually a finished product that nobody could ever really recognize what he does. And so what Suntrim Plus does, what's always been needed in any fat loss program, like there's appetite suppressants out there to help you eat less, but then you're starving. So Chin was explaining how, people fill themselves up with these protein powders so then they don't eat anything else. But he says nutritionally they're starving. So, of course, and as soon as you starve, your body, is on a diet and it starts burning off muscle and lean tissue. So what this product does is it balances your blood sugars so you can eat way less and feel very satisfied. And by balancing out those blood sugars, it's also speeding up the metabolism and helping your body utilize its fat better. So you're utilizing your fat better, you're satisfied with less, and I find that people sleep better with it, they get energized by it, they eat less with it, and it also seems to go after really difficult fat to burn, old fat. And and if you just keep doing them every day, you'll just find yourself, oh, I dropped another pound. Oh, I dropped another pound. Like I'm down 12, 13 pounds from just this product alone. And I've always had a high metabolism, and food was kind of like I had to always have my rations around me. But I can just relax now and not have to worry about always having food with me because I just take a couple of Suntrim Plus and I'm good to go.
Wow.
And I eat with it, of course, but I just don't eat much.
Do you eat it before meals, Jim, or?
Yeah, I try to have it on an empty stomach. I like to have it with a Nu Plus, or sometimes just with a few almonds. But I usually have like my Nu Plus in the morning, my Suntrim Plus. Sometimes I have it before. I just find it works no matter what I do, and it lasts for a good 4 hours after I use it. But I certainly wouldn't have a big meal before I had it. I always have it before that big meal, and then I eat way less. And then your stomach shrinks, and so then after that, you just don't need near as much food as what you're accustomed to.
Yeah. I think it's important to have it for sure at least 30 minutes before you eat, because I remember at the convention this year we had dinner with Dr. Chen, and he had forgotten to take it. So he sat there, and we all ate, and 30 minutes later he started into his meal.
Yeah, he waited, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other experiences with Suntrim? Boy, that sounds like it could change your whole life too.
Oh, it can. I tell you, so many people, they just struggle with weight. And when you start taking that, it really makes it simple.
And what you explained, Jim, is that your blood sugars aren't dropping either. They're staying more balanced. Am I correct? Because you used to have food around with you all the time because your blood sugars would get too low.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I lived on almonds. I ate them by the handful. Literally.
Healthy for you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, healthy, but there was still too much fat in that many almonds.
I'll just tell one of my little stories here just recently, because I'm doing the Fitness Brigade, and I've been doing the Suntrim, and I noticed like right around my middle that little bulges there are gone, like just gone. And then about maybe a week ago, I ran out of my Suntrim. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just see how it goes. I'm still working out. I'm eating all my Sunrider foods, and and I just found that I stopped losing that fat around the middle. So now I'm back on it again, and I can feel the difference right away.
Mm-hmm.
Barb, could you maybe just give your story, your
Oh, okay, sure.
Your oldest Sunrider story?
Okay, all right, sorry. So I started on Sunrider 25 years ago. I found Sunrider, and I knew right away that it was what I was looking for because, number one, it was whole foods. The philosophy of regeneration made so much sense to me. I knew my body was a miracle and that it could heal itself if I gave it the right combination of whole live foods. And then as I began understanding and studying and learning more about the ancient Chinese and how they knew how to put certain plants together to take away the negative effects and increase the positive effects of every plant, it just made sense. So I didn't wait to see for results or to see, figure out, well, does this work or not. I just knew this was it because it made sense to me. And so I was low energy. I was digestive problems, hypoglycemic, couldn't sleep at night. I had 4 small children. I was spending 5 out of 7 days in bed, and it was just not a happy home. And today at 60, I feel better than I did at 35. So that's my story.
Oh,
that's
way to go, Barb. Okay. So we have some other balancing foods. I think, Anne, you were going to do the Calli Delight.
Yes, the Calli Delight is an amazing product that wonderful for people who are, if you have issues with sleep, it will help you to relax a little bit at night and get a better night's sleep. Actually, I've got a couple stories about that. One of my clients phoned me. She was just very distressed. One of her friends or family members had just had a terrible time with sleep for many years and had tried everything, even prescription drugs, and nothing seemed to be working. And she's asking me, do we have anything for her? Can we help her? And to me, it sounded like this was a bigger issue than just sleep. And I told her so, but I said, I don't have anything on my shelf at the moment, but I do have some Calli Night. Maybe it might be worth a try. And she was just willing to try anything. And so she came over and got this and got it over to her person. And the next day, this person had called her and just was over the moon because it was the first night's sleep that she'd had in years. And she'd only used one tea bag. So there was something in there that really nourished her, probably her brain, just to help it relax. And it's also great for people who are under, so many of us are under tremendous amounts of stress these days. And if you are one of those people that your stress level is high all the time, you might even consider doing Calli Night all day long. And, for example, when I had to close my fitness club down, and as anybody who's had their own business and closing a business down is very traumatic and upsetting and stressful. And through the whole process, every time I was maybe having a bad day, one of my staff gals would just immediately go and make a big vat of Calli Night and mint. We would like to mix it with mint just to give it a little different flavor. And within a few minutes of having a cup of this beverage, you could just feel your whole body relax. And so for anybody who's under a lot of stress, you might even want to consider using it during the day. And I met a lady at convention. This was a number of years ago now. She sat next to her at the convention. And the way she started all her Sunrider meetings, she said, everybody is stressed. Everybody's stressed. And when they came to her house for a meeting, she had Calli Night and mint mixed together at the door. And everybody, as they walked in the door, they got a cup of Calli Night and Calli mint mixed together. And she said within 5 minutes of everybody having their cup of tea, they were all sitting in their spots, attentive and waiting for her to start the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
So Calli Night isn't just a nighttime drink. It's something that can be used in many situations. So that's the way I use it.
Thanks for sharing that, Barb. I've never heard of that combination and that idea of using it during the day. I've only used it at night for sleeping. So that's great to know.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, Ann. I don't know if anybody else out there has stress, though.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that has stress, Ann.
Nobody's going to be interested.
I think
I'd like to try that combination.
It's actually quite tasty.
I'm excited.
It's quite tasty.
How strong do you mix Calli Night, Ann? At night?
For me, it depends on my situation. Most of the time, I like to have it strong. I like to do one tea bag in a large mug. That's usually the way I make mine.
Yeah, I found with clients and myself that usually that one bag in a cup. In fact, we had kind of had this joke for a while that if you mix it with 4 cups and you have it before you go to bed, just like diluted. We call it all-night Calli because it seems to, I don't know, somehow it doesn't work as good. They don't get the very good sleep.
So you have to get up and go pee all night.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. So, and am I doing the whole slide here, or is somebody else going to jump in?
Well, I think Trudy was doing the Calli Delight. That was her idea.
Go. Perfect.
If you go to the website on Sunrider and you try to order Calli Delight, you're not going to find it. But I'll just give you a little idea. I think that one of my greatest challenges 18 and a half years ago when I started in Sunrider is that I was not hydrated. And hydration is an absolute key for keeping your body cleansing and strong. And Calli and the Fortune Delight particularly for me at the beginning, was just my body just would suck it in. It couldn't get enough, and it rehydrated my cells and helped them to clean out toxins. And that was a great part of my regeneration journey at the beginning. So Calli Delight Well, you know what? We're talking about relaxing over Christmas and just, sort of vegging out. And I can't think of anything better than on Christmas Day at 3:30, make yourself a cup of tea. I'll think of you, you think of me as we're sitting by the Christmas tree. So what we do is we make a pot of Calli, and we've got a coffee maker, 12-cup coffee maker. We put 1 Calli tea bag in the carafe, put the water in so it's quite diluted, and into that we love to have Fortune Delight cinnamon, especially at Christmas time. For some reason, you know how people like that hot cider with cinnamon stick in it? Well, I love my Calli Delight, my Calli with my Fortune Delight cinnamon added with a cinnamon stick in your cup if you want, and you can sit there and it is so relaxing and so soothing. And one of the things about the cinnamon Fortune Delight is cinnamon is so gentle on our digestion. It's very calming to our digestion. So you're eating all these foods that not necessarily that are bad for you, but they're different than what you maybe have eaten the rest of the year. And I find that that's really a soothing drink. You can do it any time of the year. You can have Calli with Fortune Delight added, if for just that extra power and the nutrition for nourishing your cleansing cells. So don't hesitate to do that. But I do encourage you not to make it too strong, because even for ourselves on the call who have our bodies are used to cleansing all the time, if you make it a little bit too strong, you can have some really a fast response in your body to getting rid of toxins. So you want to do that gently.
Okay. Yeah. And what kind of Calli do you use?
We just use Calli, regular Calli.
Regular. Okay.
Regular Calli, Fortune Delight cinnamon. Delicious choice together. Okay. Fortune Delight lemon's good with it too, but the cinnamon, particularly at Christmas time, I don't know whether, we grew up with that hot apple cider with the cinnamon in it, which is loaded with sugar. Even though it's natural sugars, it's still loaded with sugar. And the Calli Fortune Delight together, we call it Calli Delight.
Wonderful. So, Anne, maybe you will go through the next 3.
Oh, am I? Okay. Well, if there's somebody else that wants to jump in, please do. The Sunbars are our snack bar. They're a fiber bar. They're delicious. My favorite is the chocolate. They come in fruit flavor as well in Canada. I'm not sure, do the rest of you know, do we have the oatmeal in Canada yet?
No.
Not yet?
No.
Darn. So they are, as I said, they're not just a fiber bar either. They have enough nutrition. If I'm remembering this correctly, 2 bars together have enough nutrition to be classified as a meal replacement. And they help to, fill you up. They help you to move things through your body and help to absorb fat. And as I recall, they also have a probiotic factor in them, almost the equivalent of a full package of Vitataste. Is that correct? Is it Diana that we learned that from? I can't remember. Is that about right?
I know that's in the Vita Shake. I'm not 100% sure about the Sunbar.
Okay, somewhere I read that there was the equivalent probiotic factor in the Sunbars as well. So, so really, it's as I say, not just a fiber bar, a wonderful full rounded. If you want to use it as a meal replacement, I prefer to use them as a snack. The Nupuffs, I can tell you a little bit about them. I don't use them a whole lot, but I sure should because they're delicious. And they come in Canada. We have cheese flavored and the cocoa, and the cheese flavor I love to throw on top of salads and just eat them like a snack right out of the bag. And the cocoa ones, to me at least, some people might argue, but I love them. They're almost like candy. And so if you have issues with snacking and stuff, Nupuffs is your answer. Now, they are a product that at the moment is not available to Canadian distributors, I believe, unless you have or they're available to distributors, not to retail customers at the moment. I'm hoping that that's going to change, and if anybody on the call knows more about that, please let us know. And
no, but I love them too.
Yeah, yes, they're wonderful.
Can't wait till they're available here.
I know. We're missing some of those things, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
And the Quinary, my goodness, I when I saw that at the bottom of this list, I thought, holy moly, the Quinary, to me, that's almost a seminar in itself. But the Quinary feeds your 5 main body systems. It has 5 formulas incorporated into one. It feeds your digestive system, your endocrine system, your immune system. What am I forgetting? Respiratory, and one more.
Circulation.
Thank you. That's why we're a team here. And I would not be without my Quinary. I eat it every day. I probably have 2 or 3 servings of Quinary every day. And when I don't, I can tell. I don't feel as focused. I don't feel as strong. And I just know that it's nourishing my body at a level where I am just overall healthier. I don't seem to come down with colds and flus like the people around me. So anybody else jump in here and offer what you would like to on the Quinary?
Well, for me, it's Diana. Talking about stress, what used to happen when Trudy and I lived in the same town, and she'd introduced Sunrider to me, and she got to know me really, really well. And once in a while, I would get these mood swings back, or these little bad moods, or these, get snappy and everything. She'd say, "Have you taken your Quinary today, Diana?" So it makes a difference with your moods.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It keeps you balanced.
Yeah.
So everyone listening has had the experience of when you get really hungry, you might get a little anxious and snappy and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And when your body gets nourished, you just calm down. Your whole body calms down. Your mind calms down. Yeah. And these products are just super food that does that in a number of different ways.
Yeah.
Randy, I'll mention too, like with the Sunbars and the Nupuffs. Mm-hmm. So at Christmas time, instead of having your box of chocolates sitting there, I just cut up the Sunbars into little smaller pieces, and I have them sitting, and bowls of Nupuffs sitting around, and of course my organic nuts and whatnot. And so it's really great to be able to have these things to be able to serve for snack foods instead of the unhealthy ones that most people do at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm. Very good suggestion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
Okay. So now we're going to talk about some gifts, and this is to take away some of the stress of gift giving and gift buying and gift thoughts.
Yeah.
So Anne, I think you're going to do this one.
Yes, and the beauty bar, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but this is something that I try to keep 2 or 3 on my shelf all the time. They're wonderful little gift items for special occasions. My friend and colleague, and many of you on the call know Diane Harriet. She uses it as a gift for babies, for brand new babies when she makes up a little basket gift for new babies. She always puts in the beauty bar. And the story that she likes to share about beauty bar and babies is there was one little one that was having all kinds of issues with skin, and it might have even been eczema. I could be wrong on that, but it was having skin issues. And so they decided that perhaps they had to look for some other kind of soap to wash this baby with. And Kandesn Beauty Bar was suggested. And when they went to try to use this beauty bar on the baby, he literally would move his face closer to the bar. It was like he couldn't get close enough to it. So there's something in there that is just wonderful for all types of skin, and it's slightly, you can see from the slide, it's totally perfectly balanced to our what our natural skin pH should be, and so it enhances the health of your skin that way. It doesn't strip that protective acid mantle that is should naturally be there on your skin. So that is what Beauty Bar can do, and it has a beautiful, very subtle scent. It's not strong. It's just a lovely, lovely, very subtle scent. So I suspect somebody can correct me on this, but I would be highly surprised if a person that was sensitive to scents would have a problem with this bar at all. Mostly because it's got natural scent elements to it, right?
Use actually concentrated flower petals to put in that bar.
Rose petals.
Wow. There you go. And it is beautiful.
And your skin feels just satiny after.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
exactly.
yeah. It's just amazing.
Yeah. So as I say, it's a wonderful gift item, but treat yourself to it. My goodness. Well, you deserve it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or even the liquid soap if that's a lot handier for people. It's not quite the same, but it's very, very close. And, you mentioned pH, so we should probably talk about this a little bit. That we used to do a lot of demos showing the pH in different soaps, and even Baby's Own is very alkaline. That stuff would peel the paint off the wall. It's amazing of how many soaps out there are alkaline.
Yeah.
And if anything that's alkaline will strip that acid mantle and make your hands and your skin feel very dry and itchy. Yeah. Where the liquid soap and the Beauty Bar are balanced to your own skin, so that won't happen. So your skin feels very moist and soft after you wash.
Yeah.
We should mention, too, when you strip that acid mantle off your skin, that's your protective. That's part of your immune system protection. And so all of a sudden, bacteria can grow in your skin, viruses and stuff can just, be really present and not be, your body's no longer protected.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Okay. We have another gift we're going to talk about.
I love it. This is Trudy. I think I'm supposed to talk about the shampoo and conditioner.
That's right, yeah.
I just want to say, like Ann said, that natural pH. I love the shampoo and conditioner, and I'll tell you why I started using it. I had eczema and dandruff all over my head. It was terrible, and I had tried every dandruff soap out there that you could think of, and I won't mention them. Everybody probably thinks of some right off the bat, but that's okay. And I bought my first set of the Kandesn shampoo and the Kandesn conditioner. Now, I have got the finest baby hair, just like a little 2-year-old, that really fine little flyaway baby hair. Well, that's what I have. And I had this dandruff, and so it was a real problem because my hair was nice and fine, and so you could see the dandruff. The very first time I used the shampoo and the conditioner, the very first day, the next day, my scalp was not itchy. I was always feeling like I should be scratching my scalp, and it was not itchy. And I have never, in 18 years now I've been using it, I have not had dandruff, not a speck of it. My hair is wonderful. So it matches our hair's natural pH. That's what the shampoo does. And it cleanses without stripping the scalp of its natural oils that it needs for that pH balance, for the protection for your immune system. The thing about the conditioner that I love is because I've got this fine flyaway baby hair, any conditioner that I'd ever used in the past, it would just make my hair just like kind of greasy and limp. And so there'd be no body to it, and it would just hang. And it would take all the curl out of it, too. And I've got a little bit of natural curly hair, so it would be just straight as a poker and didn't look that great. And I love the Sunrider conditioner. It helps to rebuild and strengthen the hair and conditions without weighing your hair down, so you're not going around like a wet duck. It's great. It's got the keratin and specially developed amino acids to help rebuild and strengthen our hair. And let's face it, that's a real plus. It's a gentle formula, does not use harsh synthetic agents that can irritate the scalp, and it conditions without weighing down your hair. So I just love that. It can be used with, if you treat your hair, color your hair, whatever, it is safe to use. I love this. What a powerful combination. My mother, who I inherited all the sensitivities from, can also use the shampoo and conditioner, and it's very, very gentle on her hair. And she's now in her late 80s, and her hair just shines. It's beautiful. So give it a try. Perfect gift. Great combination. If you buy the two together, you also get a little pump that you can put on the top of it for, taking just one serving at a time sort of thing. So it really makes it convenient.
And I've got a tip on how to promote it, or we have a vacation home and with 2 bathrooms in it, so I put the Kandesn shampoo and conditioner in the bathrooms, and my sister just came back from staying down there, and she said, that shampoo is fantastic. I love it.
Yeah. I've got it in our bathrooms. I've got all of the Kandesn. Like there's the liquid soap and the hand and body lotion. They're sitting right there. Any guests that I have and any clients I have coming to the house, that's all they get to use. And I'll tell you, is it ever a great way to promote your products?
Yeah. And could somebody explain the difference between the Kandesn shampoo and the oil-in, the various levels?
The oil-in shampoo, as far as I understood, Randy, was for people who, women or men, who color their hair or treated hair or damaged hair. It's just that deeper conditioning into the hair for dealing with those, that situation.
Oh, okay.
And I think the oil-in, too, maybe has more, like, herbs in it to help out with, more damaged hair. I actually switch off and on. Like, I'll use the oil-in for a while, and then I'll switch to the Kandesn, and, And I always tell people don't even start on the shampoo and conditioner unless because you'll want to use it forever.
Yeah.
If you try it once, you'll be sold.
Yeah. And one bottle goes a long way. Ryan and I both use it, and it's like 4 months worth of shampoo in one bottle.
Yeah, for sure.
You only need a pea-size amount for your hair.
Yeah. Just a pea size, and people think you got to have a whole handful, but you just need a little dab.
Yeah. So a little dab will do you.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a few other ideas for gifts. I'm not sure who. Somebody can just start talking.
Well,
someone other than me.
Well, I think these gifts are not.
Oh yeah, Barb, you were supposed to.
Well, I mean these gifts are available through Sunrider has a gift sets that you can order through them, and these are just packs like the spa line and then the oil-in skincare line is, and so some of these you can just order them through the Sunrider website now. And then I was going to just mention, like for me, my Christmas shopping is all Sunrider. So I don't have to go to the department stores and fight the Christmas rush and all of that. And my kids, they look forward to every Christmas because they know they're getting their Sunrider foods and skincare and all of that stuff. And I mean, it's exciting for them. So the Vitataste, the Sunbars, the Sun Smile tabs. I put in their stockings. I put Sunbars in there. I put little Sunbreeze oil in each of them, and some Calli, some Fortune, and just, they love it. So it's great for giving for gifts. And it definitely takes the stress out of shopping, and you're buying from your own store.
Oh, yeah. Like my 3 girls, they love getting a foundation for Christmas and a Quinary and a Slim Cap, so they got the big list because they know they're going to get it all every Christmas and get stocked up again.
Yeah.
And they start hinting a month ahead of time. Mom,
do,
I know that you like to put a parcel together for Christmas. I'm getting a little low on Calli tea.
So they're all nice and small for stocking stuffers. Almost everything in Sunrider you can get in a small thing.
No, he wants the 60-pack.
Oh, really? Well, that doesn't work.
That'll go under the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my little grandson, he loves the Sunbars. So a couple of years ago, he was only like 2 years old, and I wrapped him up a box of the chocolate Sunbars, and he opens it up, and he was, Grandma, just what I always wanted.
Boy, I'm sure that's not said too many places in the world.
No.
A box of healthy snacks. Okay. So we're going to move on to our fitness and weight loss section. We're going to deal with one last myth. sort of perennial desire to lose weight. And I think Anne's going to talk about that. Instead of weight loss, we should be thinking about fat loss.
Yeah. And this is probably something that people are going to start thinking about probably more after Christmas. But this is something that I was telling Randy earlier that when I ran the fitness club, this was an issue that we had a lot of problems with, or our clients, I should say, had problems with. They'd been so indoctrinated into watching the scale. And so when they would when they start a fitness program, very often what would happen is they would either stay the same on the scale or they would gain weight. And, of course, that was very discouraging for them. And yet, at the same time, we knew, because we had a state-of-the-art analysis machine that could tell them that they were dropping body fat, and they would even acknowledge that they were feeling better and their clothes were fitting better, and yet they were still glued to that scale. And it was a real struggle to do the education on that. But as you can, where's our slide here? So you can see there we go. I had something in front of me, my little talking notes here. So this illustration that's on the slide was what I used regularly to talk to clients and try to help them understand that muscle is more dense and compact than fat. And our good friend JW would always talk about fluffy people, right? That was his term, I think. Mm-hmm. If you're fat, you're fluffy. And it's probably no coincidence that pastry, they always talk about flaky and fluffy pastry. Well, there's your Crisco, and that's a 3-pound container, and you can see that it takes up a lot more space than that little 3-pound hand weight. So muscle versus fat on the body is the same thing, the same illustration that I'm trying to get across there. And so I really tried to get across to my clients to pay attention. How are your clothes fitting? How are you feeling? And not actually, Barb, I think you did a demonstration, or you did an illustration by throwing the scale in the garbage. At the fitness club, we actually hid it way in a back room so that they wouldn't be able to find it, but they eventually did, of course. But it's really important to understand that lean, healthy tissue is what you're after, and you really need to get rid of your love affair with the scale.
Yeah, and here's some other pictures of that.
Yes. And I was hesitant to put that left-hand photo in there, but it, again, it just sort of reiterates what we've been saying here. And I added this little photo on the right because I found it quite interesting to look at. If you notice that the one on the left is only 123 pounds, the lady in the middle is 132 pounds, and the one on the right is 137 pounds. And to me, that says it all. Yeah. Obviously the lady on the right is she's more fit and much more lean, but she actually weighs more. So.
Didn't Dr. Chen always say, I don't care if you weigh 150 pounds so long as you fit into a size 6?
Yep. There you go. Yep. There you go. And that picture just speaks to that. So.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So I think we've got the updates of people doing the Fitness Brigade. I think Trudy was already talking a bit, but Barb, do you have any or?
Well, I'm on day 56, and I just look forward to it every day. And I think everybody. I was talking to Patrice today, and I was saying we were discussing the Fitness Brigade and how it was going over and promoting it and that. And I was like, every single Sunrider needs to experience that Fitness Brigade, because they would get excited about it and they would go out and share it. Just like we've experienced the foods, we need to all experience that Fitness Brigade workout because it is incredible. And I just, every day, I can't wait till I can do my workout, and I just feel so amazing.
Okay. And my husband just joined me last week. He's been doing it now for a week and a half.
Good. And my husband is going to start here very, very soon.
Gosh, good.
Yep.
If you can get Dawn exercising, everybody knows Dawn. That's something amazing.
He's turned over a new leaf. And he's going to start working out. So that's
he sees what it's doing for you, Barb. That's what's getting them going.
Exactly. And I'm 5 years older than him, and he doesn't want me to outdo him, so he's got to catch up.
I have to just tell a little story. When we started, the day before Rye started, he was sitting in his chair, and I was doing push-ups, and I do them from my knees because I've got some metal in my leg, and I just have to modify. And so I was doing them from my knees, and he goes, "Oh, that looks pretty sucky doing them from your knees, right?" And I said, "Well, you know what? You could try this." He goes, "Okay, I'll do it tomorrow." And he did, and he goes, "I'm doing these from my knees." They're a lot harder than it looks.
But isn't it interesting, Trudy, how that even the modified, because I just do the modified, and even the modified, you have amazing results.
Oh, I know. Some of the things I don't have to do modified anymore, like the sit-ups and those type of things. I can just do those, whip them off. But it's amazing that you can modify. You can do the modified through the whole thing and still have incredible results.
Yeah.
I have burned 10.65 pounds of fat in 12 weeks.
Awesome.
Good.
Wow, that's
it's very exciting. It's very exciting. I keep going around going like, I've got some muscle. It feels great.
Good.
Okay. So this is, for those who are listening tonight, this is the last product call for this month. There will not be another call closer to Christmas because we know how busy people get. But starting in January, the first and third Tuesday of each month, we'll be going ahead. And we like to just remind everyone that, we're just ordinary people. We're telling you what we know. We're not medical doctors. You please don't take anything we say as medical advice. And if you have a health problem, to go see a professional. But it's nice that the people that make all the Sunrider products are professional. They are health professional. There's 3 or 4 doctors in the Sunrider family now. Mm-hmm. But we're just sharing with you our experiences, and that's the kind of thing that makes a difference, we feel. And don't just be inspired by something on the internet because it doesn't really work. But talk to the people that you know and ask their experience about Sunrider, and you'll get the straight story. Now, once a month, we give a presentation on the business opportunity. We tell you how to get started, how you can pay for your products or make an extra $1,000 a month or an extra $5,000 or however much you wish. And what we find is that although it's an introductory presentation, it is tending to turn into sort of a teaching session. So anyone that's not just starting and just wanting to get clear on what's really going on when you build a business, it's still highly advantageous to take this in, and people get a lot out of it. Some people have said that it's the best business presentation they've ever heard. And the one starting in December, until we change it again, we're actually putting it a little bit earlier. So the one on this coming Saturday will be at 9:30 Mountain Standard Time and 8:30 Pacific, and you figure out the rest. But
12:30 Atlantic.
Okay. And so we're going to officially finish the call because we're close to or gone past our 30 minutes. But as usual, we will stay online. And if anybody wants to make a comment, we'd really appreciate that. Since there's kind of a lot of people, like if you could limit your comments to maybe just like say 1 minute or so, I think that would help for the other people. But we'd really like to hear from you. You can comment over the phone by hitting *6, or you can type in chat. We'd love to hear you either way. So thank you very, very much.
Can I just make one more comment too,
Sure.
Randy? The business part of Sunrider is another great way to reduce the financial stress that people have at Christmas time.
Yeah, that's for sure. And it's not like you're going to make $1,000 in your first month. But what I see is important in terms of stress is that you have a plan. And so if you actually on a plan to build a second income, on a plan to build a business, somehow that takes that gnawing feeling that something's really wrong in your life. And just you make a plan, you have a system, we show you a system, and then you follow that system. And it just that process itself can take a big load off your mind.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anybody? Any comments? Please speak up.
What's the noise?
Hi, Randy. It's Tricia. I just wanted to mention that I have done Vitataste with sea salt and table salt. And the sea salt was fine, and the table salt tasted absolutely horrible. You could taste the bleaches and the flowing agents and everything else that's in it. So it's really neat to try that. And Trudy, if you want an awesome Calli Delight, try Raspberry Fortune Delight and Cinnamon Calli. They just go so well together.
Thank you,
Okay.
Trish.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Trish. That's really interesting on the salt.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Okay. Well, they're all scrambling for their phones to order their Sunrider. Yeah, there's I'm inspired to try some of these combinations certainly, and everything that Ann said about the Calli Night, I just happened to order some Calli Night before this session, so I'm really happy.
I'm going to get some Vitataste.
Me too.
Oh, okay.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for participating, our honored, knowledgeable guests, and everyone who's listening online or listening later or whenever you're listening or watching. We're honored that we could share this with you and that we could serve you in any way.
Thank you, Randy, for setting these up.
Yeah.
Thanks, Randy.
Okay.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you,
Thanks, Randy.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.